What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am, of course, your host, Reckless Rexx Ruger. That, of course, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. We are back with another incredible episode. It's what we do, kids, and we ain't about to change it now. Before we get into it, and we got another banger of an episode coming your way, let me get the obligatory promotional spiel out of the way. You know, if you have a podcast, you got to pimp it. We know this. The pimp hand, feeling strong. Here we go. Make sure to tap into Pod Scum on Facebook. Our handle is, of course, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. Don't be confused. You can get information on both shows on this channel on that Facebook page. Instagram, you can check us out there also. Same handle, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. But should you want to watch and listen to these episodes in their entirety, the only place you can do that is right here on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching right now, please like, please subscribe. Please find your way to the upper regions of your screen and smash that notification bell to stay tapped in and notified when new content drops. I got that all in, and my guest is here. I'm excited. You're excited, so let's get down to it. Here we go. Hello, Eric. How's it going, my man?
Yo, dude, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. One thing I like about you, man, is I of course I had Mike on the podcast the other day too. I like that you're out there. You're telling me, you're sending me a message. You're in the garage. You're working. You're doing your thing, man. Just grinding, right?
Just grinding day-to-day life, man.
I remember I saw a great interview not that long ago. I came across on YouTube, and there's this little kid. I think he's a much bigger kid now, but he used to go around and interview people backstage. I saw him interview Bobby Blitz from Overkill, and he said, "What's it like to be a rock god?" And Bobby Blitz said, "You wouldn't have to ask me that if you saw me on a Sunday out there mowing my lawn." You know what I mean? Like a regular dude, right?
Yeah, that's Bobby.
Just doing his thing, you know what I mean? No rock god, and not in his mind anyway, you know?
Yeah, Bobby's he's a character for sure, but
for sure. Yeah.
He definitely doesn't have a lot of ego, that's for sure.
No, and that's refreshing to see. So some of these questions I may have asked Mike the other day, but I'm curious to get your vibe on them too. So first album with Napalm Records, and I'm wondering, first of all, are there nerves? And I asked Mike this too, like I said, are there nerves when you're putting out your first album with a new label?
The nerves are wondering what the label's going to do with it.
Right.
We've put out albums before where the minute it's mixed, they sell the rights to 13 other countries. They've made their money back tenfold, and they don't have to do anything with it, so they just drop it.
Yeah.
And that's happened a few times. But boy, Napalm is they've really stepped up to the plate. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff for us, and it's feeling pretty good right about now.
Yeah. So and when you say doing a lot of stuff, specifically, are there things you can touch on that you feel like they're doing that maybe wasn't done for past albums?
The difference is like AFM, they threw us some interviews and stuff like that, but not like Napalm. These guys are relentless. They're on me, 7, 8 interviews a day, every single day.
Yeah.
So it's, it's tiring. It's kind of boring to have the same questions over and over and over again. Sure. But they're doing something, and they're getting us out there, and that's really nice to see.
Yeah, they're not going to wear out the AK voice, though, right? With all these interviews,
I hope not.
I guess that's a nice problem to have, though. Because it is nice to have a label that's really pushing it. And so far, I just checked the numbers. Because obviously you've made 2 videos for the tracks that are out there. The title track, "Rexx in the Temple" and "Harvesting the Hay," both of them closing in on 200,000 views. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and in a fairly short time too. So
yes, yeah.
I mean, it would be nicer to have Taylor Swift numbers, but that's not going to happen. So
right. No one's getting Taylor Swift numbers, I don't think, nowadays. But still, though, man, I mean, just for the fact that there's so much content to watch on YouTube, that 200,000 eyes have watched those videos, though, man, it's pretty cool, though. I mean, because there's so much stuff out there, content wise to feast your eyes on nowadays.
They say there's what was it? 1,000-something brand new singles released every day.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I'm like, crazy. Really? How do they do that? We do an album every 2 years. How do we?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And you feel like that's the right number? Because when I talked to Mike the other day, man, we really talked about, and I don't know where I really stand on this because I've been a fan, since day one from album number one. But so much has been made about this Flotsam and Jetsam recent trajectory, like almost like you guys have really come into your own on these last 4 or 5 albums. That people forget how kick-ass the other albums were in the past. But given the fact that there does seem to be a trajectory, can you explain why these last 4 or 5 albums? I mean, Mike gave his best explanation, but I'm curious though, like what's changed and what's been why you guys have really been firing on all cylinders for these past, going back to like the self-titled and End of Chaos and Blood in the Water and I Am the Weapon.
Yeah, it definitely started on the self-titled. I've got this team of guitar players now. Mike and Steve they try to outdo each other all the time.
Yeah.
And it's it's a friendly battle, but boy, they are on each other all the time about, I'm gonna write this song and put 7 solos in it for myself. And and Mike will come back with, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna write a 7-string song and put 8 solos in it. It's just back and forth and back and forth of trying to outdo each other. But it's very friendly. And it's a good problem for me to have because they are trying to outright each other all the time. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you can hear it in the music. And he also gave a lot of credit to the stability, of the lineup, obviously, and the fact that he gave a lot of kudos to Ken because he has that kind of that producer's ear as well.
Ken has such a history in his career. I mean, it's just ridiculous the stuff he's done.
Yeah,
and the behind the scenes stuff he's done is 3 times longer than the stuff he's played in.
Yeah.
So it's the guy does soundtracks for Japanese anime stuff and crap like that. I mean, cool. He's so busy in his studio all the time. I'm surprised he's out on tour right now with Metal Church because his studio is busy constantly.
Right.
He's always doing something. So it surprises me that he was able to go do that, especially since he knows he's got to go out with us pretty soon too.
Right.
So, he's going to have to get home and do his studio stuff 24 hours a day just to catch up. But the guy's amazing. He's an amazing producer, an amazing lyricist. He writes, musical parts, and on top of all that, he's even better at drums than everything else he does. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, keep showing off there, Ken. Jesus, man, is there anything we got to find out the thing that he can't do, for God's sakes?
Hey, you want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
One of the coolest things out of all the whole list of stuff he's done. I mean, he's done Alice Cooper and Chastain and Fifth Angel and House of Lords, and it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
The coolest thing I found out he does, that show Full House?
Yes.
He was the drummer for Jesse and the Rippers on Full House.
Was he?
Yeah. They had 2 drummers. One was the original dude, and then Ken took over for him and went and did actual live performances with Stamos and Jesse and the Rippers. So
he was in episodes of Full House as well, though.
Yeah, they had this big competition if they wanted to see who could get Stamos to say their name while filming, So Stamos tells a joke one day and Ken does a little rim shot, and he turns around and he goes, "Thanks, Kenny." And he's like, "Yeah, he said my name."
So now we can add acting to the also to the list.
Exactly.
And so for you, not to make too much of this recent trajectory, but out of these recent albums, going back to the self-titled, is there one that really stands out to you? Obviously, Right to the Temple is about to drop, but is there one where you feel like you look back on most fondly of? Now, Mike told me that it was Blood in the Water for him.
Blood in the Water is a really good one. I would have to take maybe 2 or 3 songs from each of the last 4 records and make a record out of those, and that would be my favorite.
Yeah.
So I've got, a few songs off of each one of the last 4 or 5 albums that are really my favorite songs, but I can't find a bad one in the bunch yet. So, but I'm a little biased.
You're a little partial. Yeah. But do you like the fact that though? I mean, obviously, it's great that these albums are getting a lot of attention. But do you ever think like, hey, a lot's being made from the music journalists and on the different metal websites about this trajectory in these last albums over the last decade. But hey, we had some pretty kick-ass shit all along throughout our career.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we kind of waved back and forth through genres almost a little bit, right on the line a few times. But there's only one or two records that I would really like to go back and rewrite. But most of them pretty good stuff. I can complain about production here and there, but songwriting, I've always been really lucky about getting good songwriters in my lineup. So
yeah. And so what was the creative process like for this particular album? You guys all kind of have a hand in it with Rats in the Temple?
Yes. It is one of the weirdest and coolest things ever. There are when it comes to writing songs for a record goal, there are no egos in these guys. Everybody takes every suggestion they get, and we at least try it. And then we listen to both ways at the end, and we group decide which one's better. And there's no, oh no, this is the way I wrote it, this is the way it has to be kind of stuff,
Right.
There's an end goal of the best song to make the best record. And it doesn't matter who wrote what. It didn't matter if Ken wrote every song on the record, everybody would be fine with that. If Steve wrote every song, everybody would be fine with that. As long as we get the best material out that we can get in whatever time we have to record.
And do you feel like there's some themes or some underlying messages in this album?
We didn't mean for it to be that way, but there's so much crap going on in the news and on social media, and that stuff's got to seep in somewhere, whether you want it to or not.
Yep.
So I think there's kind of an underlying thing about, maybe it kind of goes between think about what you're saying, what you're spouting off, what you're doing from different angles. Look at yourself from somebody else's eyes once in a while. That and mind your own business, pretty much. That's kind of the theme. We didn't start off to do that, but when I listen to the songs and read through the lyrics, that's kind of the theme I get from the whole record.
Yeah. Do you even resonate with a certain genre nowadays? Because I don't even think it's fair to even call you guys thrash metal anymore. I feel like you guys have segued into almost like your own lane where, and I forgot when Mike called it the other day, kind of like a mix of like a power speed metal type thing.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we float in and out of so many metal genres that I don't really know what you would call us, but we just write to please our own ear. With the thought in the back of your mind of what our audience likes.
Right.
And whatever comes out. We don't care if it's a ballad, if it's a dance song, or what it is. If it comes out, we think it's cool, it's going on a record.
Yeah. Now, I want the fans to beat me up in the comment section or gloss over what you said a couple of minutes ago, but you did make mention, and someone will say it in the comment section, why didn't you follow up and ask AK about this? You did say there was a couple albums that you wouldn't mind redoing or rewriting. The fans are probably going to love these albums, but what are the albums that you have in mind?
The main one would be Unnatural Selection.
Okay.
That one did not get the attention from me that it needed.
Okay.
I'm doing my own thing. We're on a break from touring and from writing and all that. And I get a call one day after not talking to the guys for a couple of months. I get a call one day that says, hey, when are you going to be down here? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, it's your day in the studio. I'm like, studio for what? And next thing I know, I'm standing in the studio, I listened through the song once, write some lyrics down, sing it, on to the next song.
Yeah.
And that was the most attention that record got. And I think that the guys writing the thing did kind of the same thing. It was like last minute writing stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of really good 3/4 done songs on that record.
Yeah.
But there's a quarter of each song where I'm just going, oh, that's horrible.
Like
you
phoned
know.
it in a
So
little, like felt like you phoned it in a little bit.
yeah, phoned
Yeah.
it in a little bit,
Yeah.
and I've felt kind of bad about dissing that record that way ever since. But you know, it's in the past. That record was a long time ago. So
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel like as these ferocious records keep coming out, it seems like Flotzilla continues to morph into something meaner and nastier. He's evolving.
yeah, Flotzilla is. You know, his little story is he lives in the bottom of the ocean,
Right.
hibernates for thousands of years at a time,
Yep.
and when he comes up, he's mean, angry, indestructible. He doesn't care who you are, what you are, why
Yep.
you are. He's
Yep.
eating everything until he finds something he likes the taste of.
Yeah.
And then once he's full, going back down to the bottom of the ocean for another 1,000 years. And that's pretty much his story. But there is nothing that can destroy him. He's just a huge, nasty, evil, mean, hungry beast. And he
Yeah.
has no emotions, and he has no, you know, you can't reason with him. You know what I mean? Um, it's just a beast, a hungry beast. And that's kind of the way we feel right now with these last few records. We're just a hungry beast. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
we've been dicking around long enough in this career, and it's time to actually do something. So
It doesn't just sound like he has that bad of a life. I'm a little envious. Just nice long naps and come up and just feast whenever he wants, and then just boom, right back to whatever.
right, right.
Not
I
a
wish
bad
I could
life.
just nap for as long as I want. That'd be great.
I know. So I touched on the videos and how they're both approaching, at least through Napalm Records YouTube channel. They're both closing in on 200,000 views each. Do you like that process? Because these videos are very well made and really slick, and the production of them is great, and they're ferocious. Obviously, the songs are amazing. Do you like the whole process though of showing up and making a video?
You know, I grew up in a film and theater type family.
Okay.
So I've been, sitting behind the scenes behind a camera watching for my whole life, basically.
Yeah.
Done a lot of theater stuff, rehearsals and performances and all that crap. And so I'm really used to it, and I've got a good eye for some of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
we've got a guy we've been working on for the last few videos, and he's really good. He's really fast. We've been using the same location to film every time, I think.
Yep.
And he just comes up with some decent ideas, and then he takes our ideas after he sends us a rough copy. He takes our ideas and actually implements them and says, "Well, this was a good idea, but it's not going to work because of this or whatever."
Yeah.
And we go back and forth, and we always end up with something decent, So we like using this guy. He's really easy to work with, and when we give him suggestions, he kind of runs with it.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff was filmed in green screen. I know there's about 3-second touch of AI in a couple of these two videos, but wasn't any of our stuff. So
right. Now what about I imagine the album drops again August 28th. So then you guys will hit the road and tour. You guys have been doing this for so long, man. Where do you stand right now on touring? Is it a big deal to go out, man? Are there preparations that you yourself have to make? Do you have a routine, a regimen when you're out there on the road?
I'm just starting this week to start putting myself in some physical training.
Okay.
I've got a little side project I do, and I rehearse with them every day just to keep the chops up.
Sure.
And so I'm just now starting. I think we've got 3 weeks before we start doing some shows. We've got a couple Arizona shows and one in Hollywood, and then we come home for another couple weeks, figure out what our set list is going to be, and we go off to Australia for a week or so. So it's and then we've 5 weeks right before Christmas in Europe. So we got a lot of touring coming up, and as far as getting ready for it, I just need my physical self to be ready. You know, I need the stamina, and I don't want to. Usually, third song in for the first couple of shows, I'm just
Yeah, right.
you know.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I'm 61 now, so I got to try to get myself in shape.
Yeah. Has the but yeah, okay. So you're mentioning you're 61. I'm 53. But your health up to this point, though, man, you still feel good?
Oh yeah.
That's important out there because I think a lot of people, man, and that's why I was asking about the preparations because I know a lot of guys now as they're going out and they tour older, man. You know what I mean? They kind of got to change their routine. Obviously, hard to replicate what you did when you were in your 20s. Who the hell can?
Yeah. I got to hit the gym for a couple of weeks before we go out. Get my breathing good and get myself feeling a little stretched out.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just a matter of no partying, very little drinking, all that kind of stuff.
Now, with the musical landscape having changed so much, and the way people are consuming music, the way music is being released, attention spans having changed. You know what I mean? We are seeing people going back to putting out singles or abbreviating their bodies of work, putting out more EPs. You guys still a 13-song full-length album. Is that always going to be the mindset you think for Flotsam and Jetsam? You guys are going to always keep that old school mentality and fly the flag for full-length albums?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we like doing full-length albums. We're not above doing a single at a time, but I think that'll be maybe in between albums. But it's just a cool thing. We're old school. We like to have the whole album. Our fans like the physical product, of the whole thing.
Yep.
You can unfold the actual vinyl and look at all the thank you list and all that stuff.
Yeah, I like that too.
Most of our fans are collectors age. They like
they
like to collect that stuff. They got thousands and thousands of vinyls. So
yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing to have, and I think we'll always do it that way. Like I said, we're certainly not above throwing one single out all by itself once in a while.
Right.
We just haven't. We planned on putting 11 songs on this record. So we wrote 13 because there's always a B-side for something they want, or, Japan used to want an extra song for them to release a record.
Yep.
Crazy stuff. And we sent them all to Napalm, and they just went, no, we can't decide, so we're putting all 13 on the record.
Okay, so that came as a surprise to you then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, we really couldn't decide which ones to kick out either to make it 11 songs. But Napalm pretty much made that decision for us. They just went, no. Matter of fact, we're going to put out double vinyl. We're only going to put 3 or 4 songs on each side. And we're like, okay, cool. Why not?
Yeah. And so, how do you make the the hookup, for lack of a better term, with Napalm Records? Do they reach out to you? Do they see that you guys are not with your former label? How does that connection come about?
Yeah, AFM decided not to put anything new out. They were just gonna keep their catalog up, I guess.
Yeah.
And Napalm was one of the first and one of the best offers we got. So, we told them, hey, we're very interested, but we need to talk to some other people. And we talked to a few other labels and went straight back to Napalm and said, all right, let's go with it. They've got a really good lineup on their roster.
Yep.
And, they were talking about really pushing this thing, and they were really excited about it. So we went with them, and so far they're really pushing it, and they haven't given us any grief about anything. They've given us a few suggestions here and there about some stuff, but man, they're extremely reasonable, quick. We don't have to wait on them. We don't have to call them up and say, what's going on here?
Yeah.
They're on top of stuff. And this is the most interviews I've done since we were on MCA Records. So it's pretty cool.
And when you guys make videos, how does the selection of the songs go? Is that done by the label, or do you guys have any input in saying, hey, obviously Rats in the Temple became a video. That's the title track. That one makes sense. Haunting the Hate. Like, how do these decisions get made?
We actually had the videos. I mean, we had the video in the contract with the label.
Okay.
But we really didn't talk to them about it. We just picked the 2 songs, went and shot the video, and sent them to them, and said, "Here, the videos are done." And they're like, "Great," and they paid us some video money right off the bat, or paid the video guy, and it's just been really smooth so far. So, we're pretty happy about being on Napalm. This is nice.
Yeah, yeah. You look back on your past catalog. Are you guys able to step back and appreciate how seminal and how important you know what I mean, and how much the metal world really reveres some of your past albums? Obviously, Doomsday for the Deceiver and No Place for Disgrace come to mind instantly. Although Mike had a few problems with production on No Place for Disgrace, but still an amazing fucking album. I don't think anybody's not going to say that's not an amazing album in the metal world.
I've had some production problems with every album so far, I think, except for The Cold. I think that was the only one I was just like, this thing sounds great. And the new ones.
Yeah, which I did just see on your Facebook page is being re-released, I believe.
Yeah, that's kind of a sore spot with me.
Okay.
That we had no other label offers at that time in the career.
Okay.
It was just that one label, one guy. And we signed the contract, because he said, "Here's the contract, sign it or don't, go find somebody else." Well, we had already been looking. Nobody was interested. It was a weird time in the industry.
Yep.
And so we signed this contract later on to find out that we signed away all rights to the thing forever.
Oh.
So, they gave us very minimal money to record the thing, and we handed it over to them, and now it's no longer ours, and we got nothing to say about it.
Ouch.
Yeah, which, we signed it without reading the whole thing, so it's kind of our fault, but who makes a contract like that? Anyway, turns out Head from Korn is one of the label owners for that label too.
Okay.
So I don't know how much he knows about all that, if he's just a silent owner or what, but that was a sore spot, because that album was great.
Yeah.
And it went to #1 in Belgium and all kinds of crap. So, but we've never played any song from that album live. And at this point, it looks like it probably never will, unless I get that lineup back together just to go do a cold tour,
Right. But you are able to look back on those albums and appreciate and understand why metal fans revere them so much, though.
Yeah. Even Unnatural Selection, which is the one I regret the most, that thing has some really great parts on it.
Oh yeah.
It just seems to me like there's not an entire finished song on there. Every one of them needed something done to it, in my opinion. So, but at the time I was just like, oh, whatever, I guess I wasn't paying attention. So I kind of blame it on myself, and I'd really love to go back and rewrite some of that stuff, but we're so busy moving forward. I really can't go back and try to fix things that are bothering me when they don't bother anybody else. So.
Right. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're able to go back and remember the thought process, but when you guys did Doomsday for the Deceiver, an incredible album, highly acclaimed, and then you followed up with No Place for Disgrace. Do you remember back at the time, and just speaking for yourself, of course, do you remember putting any pressure on yourself to follow up Doomsday for the Deceiver, because it was so highly touted?
Yes and no. We obviously, at the time, before we even started recording, it was very obvious to us that we had some great songs there to put together.
Yeah.
And, we kind of were in the same mindset as our fans and audience were, or the audience of the day, whether they were ours or not. And we're kind of on that same wavelength, same age group, same, all that. And we put these songs together, and you just kind of knew, this is a great record.
Right.
Let's put it out there and see what happens. And, they both did very well. So it was, there really wasn't a lot of pressure. The only pressure was Can we get out there and push this thing and tour as much as we can for it, which we did. I lived on a tour bus for months and months and months and months.
Right.
And, went through hundreds of crew guys and and tour managers and all that, So that was really the only pressure was, let's get out there and tour. And still to this day, I'm great with let's get out there and tour at any moment. I'm ready to leave whatever I've got going on and go out and hop on a bus and go do a bunch of shows.
Is it difficult when you put out so many great albums now to construct the set list?
Most of the set list constructs itself.
Okay.
There's 2 or 3 songs from the first 2 records we have to do, or people get angry. We hear about it for months.
Right.
We're out there trying to push the new one.
Yep.
So there's 3/4 of the set list right there. And then it's a matter of us picking songs we'd like to do. And the guys in this lineup have a good point about, let's do songs from records that we are on, because that makes more sense.
Oh yeah.
So, and even though we've got all those records that they weren't on, it makes sense to me too. Why should I make them play stuff that other people wrote and that are from albums way in the past?
Yeah.
When we've got 5 good albums now that all of them were on. So,
right.
That's a lot of stuff to choose from. That's 60 something.
Oh yeah.
60 something songs right there.
Yeah.
We can only do 15 in a headline set if we just bump them out one after another,
Yeah. Now when you have a new album coming out, because you have been doing this for so long, maybe coupled with the fact that it's your first one for Napalm Records, but just in general, when a new album comes out, still jitters and nerves a little bit?
You always kind of crossing your fingers and hoping that it's accepted well, the public's going to love it. So far, all of the interviewers and people who are auditing the record or whatever, everybody loves it so far. So it's just a matter of what our fans and the public says.
Is there pressure because this trajectory that everyone makes so much about how these last 4 or 5 albums have really been great? When you guys are in the studio or you're writing the material for Rats in the Temple, do you guys put pressure on yourself, or do you have in the back of your mind like, wow, every album that we've been doing lately has just been kicking so much ass? How do we keep either staying parallel or topping these albums?
That's the biggest worry when we're recording is we just put an album out couple years ago that was very well received, got rave reviews, put us on the charts. And if we put one out that's not as good, that's gonna just take people's attention away for who knows how many more albums. So we have to have an album that is at least as good as the last one, if not better, every time. So that we've always got that in the back of our heads. We're always double and triple thinking songs and parts. Listen to these 3 songs together. Are these anywhere near as good as the last record? And we'll listen to them and go, I think so. We'll have people that have nothing to do with us listen to them and go, oh, those are great.
Yeah.
So we do worry about that a little bit, but at the same time, everybody in this lineup is veterans and have been doing this forever, and they're so professional, and they've all recorded so much stuff. It's just, you kind of, I get a song from Mike or Steve, and I listen to it, and halfway through I'm like, oh, okay, this one's great.
Yeah.
I got to give it that exhale, like, oh, they're not writing crap, even though I have no reason to think they would, but you always wonder, is this song going to be as good as the last record? And boy, they just keep pushing them at me that are just amazing stuff.
Yeah, you guys are like Joe DiMaggio, man. Like during his hitting streak, you're on the streak right now. You don't want to give Blabbermouth the old headline, "The Flotsam and Jetsam streak is over."
Yeah, that would not be good.
Just keep riding the wave, right? Riding the wave.
Yeah. I think when the streak's over, we'll just go out and do the legend band tour thing for a couple of years, and then probably fold.
Well, you've got an upcoming gig and you touched on, I think, at the top of the interview, where you guys are playing somewhere out in Hollywood, and it's a very strange, kind of peculiar lineup where like Rat was on it, and I Hate God, and you guys, very much a hodgepodge of different genres.
Yeah, Stephen Piercy from Rat is putting this thing on. I think
Yeah.
he's the main dude. And he just decided, I don't want this all hair metal bands or all
Yeah.
Rat type bands. You know, I
Yeah.
want different genres from metal and from rock. And so he asked us to play. He asked I Hate God to play, which is kind of funny for the rest of the lineup. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think it's great. You know, and it's outside in the parking lot of the Rainbow. So
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And it's nice to see those dividing lines are down. I think I said this to Mike during our interview, though, because there used to be a time, I remember this very vividly, back when I was in high school, where there was no way you could come to school fucking repping a Flotsam and Jetsam jersey and have anybody find out behind closed doors that you listened to Rat or Motley Crue. You'd be ostracized. There was just no way those worlds could blend back then. You were either a diehard, extreme metalhead, or you were the dreaded poser or the fan of hair metal. It's nice to see those walls are down now.
Yeah, when I first joined the band, we were doing mainly covers.
Yeah.
And we did a Twisted Sister cover. And boy, we did that one time and people just jumped on us like you wouldn't believe. What are you doing? You're a metal band. Why are you playing Twisted Sister?
Right,
like,
right.
It's a cool song. What do you want,
Yeah. It's nice to see those dividing lines are down now. You know what I mean? It's easier now just for everybody to get along, it seems like, at least in the music world anyway,
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like an Indy 500 race. There's the rap car, and there's the top 40 car, and there's the metal car, and there's the rock and roll car, and everybody wants to be faster and more brilliant than the other one.
Yeah.
So I think all the rock and metal guys are joining teams and building a supercar because they want to outdo the rap and the top 40 people. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And so the album drops August 28th, and then you touched on it a little bit, but do you know what the rest of 2026 looks like for you guys? Obviously, you said some European touring, right?
Yeah, we've got a couple weeks off in between, but like I said, we start off with 3 shows here close to home, and then Australia, New Zealand, and then we come home for another couple weeks, and then off to Europe for 5 weeks of touring. I think we get home right before Christmas.
Okay. Okay. And Flotsam and Jetsam fans, I think I asked Mike this when he was on, but your opinion, Flotsam and Jetsam fans, expect really no surprises, no curveballs on this album. This is a straightforward, we know we're going to get another Flotsam and Jetsam banger.
To me, it seems like the second half of the I Am the Weapon record.
Okay.
It's right in there in the same realm. There's some stuff that's a little, I don't know, a little more driven, I think. But
yeah,
that's one of the things we do to try to top the last record is be a little bit more aggressive than before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, so far the 2 tracks that are out there now, and I encourage people to go check them out and check out the videos. The videos are absolutely amazing. But it looks like we're on our way to keeping the streak intact, AK. The streak isn't going anywhere with this album, I don't think.
Man, I hope so. As long as my throat keeps up with me, I'm good to go.
Yeah, well, we've known in past interviews, man, that you're a show-off, AK, where you don't do any vocal warming up, right? I mean, like, we passed this on to to the other vocalists. Don't do what AK does. Do what he said. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. No. But okay aside, though, if a young musician were to come to you right now and you could give them one piece of advice about the industry, where we are now in 2026, what would you tell them is the most important thing to getting their act out there and having some success?
Really, the most important thing, if you're a good band and you've got some kind of following, pay attention to the business end of things.
Yeah.
We've been raped over the coals so many times by so many shisty, label people, agents, managers, whatever, that it's just everybody takes their piece of the pie, and by the time it gets stuffed, there's no pie left.
Right.
And that's been happening our whole career, basically, and it's because we don't want to do the business. We want to write music. We want to get out there and perform for the fans and have a great time and see the world.
Yeah.
Past that, we didn't want to do any of that crap. And once we started paying attention to the business end of things, we're like, wow, really been taken to the cleaners a
Yeah,
bunch. You know?
yeah.
So, and we can't really blame anybody but ourselves. I mean, we didn't pay attention. So, but we do now.
Yeah.
And things are starting to climb back up to where they were once, you know?
Yeah.
And it's nice to see. It's nice to feel that people still dig us being around.
Yeah. And if that head comes crawling out of the woodwork from Corn offering you a contract, run for your life, kids. Run for your life.
You just gotta, know when to say no or yes. So
right. Right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you doing this, man. I love talking to you, man. And one of my favorite bands, man. I can't wait. Another great album is on the way. I can feel it in my bones, AK. I'm not even doubting it for a second, man. Based on what we're seeing so far, man, another great Flotsam and Jetsam album, man. So congrats, man. And congrats on signing with a new label, and everything looks like it's going coming up roses.
Yeah, I can promise you that besides Rats and Harvesting the Hate, which I'm sure you've heard.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Besides those two, you're still going to find at least 2 or 3 songs that you're going to claim as your favorites off the record.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Out of all the albums that you guys have put out, man, I can understand all that difficulty with making the set list, because I mean, there's a lot of great material there. That's why I kind of get a little angry. I told Mike this. I hate everything being made about this recent Flotsam and Jetsam trajectory. You know what I mean? Because you guys have been putting out killer albums for a long fucking time.
Yeah, and if I had my choice, if it was just up to me alone, we'd be doing some stuff off of Drift and Quattro and and maybe a couple songs off the Cold or whatever. But I can't complain about one song off these last 4 or 5 records. Not one.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying about like playing the stuff that's relevant to the guys in the band too. Obviously, man, it means a lot to them. They're invested in that material.
Well, they did a great job on all this stuff, and who am I to say, oh no, we're going to play this old crap?
Yeah.
No, they did a fantastic job. Some of these last few albums and some of the best stuff out of the whole career.
Yeah.
So, it's hard for me to just listen to fans and go, oh, we have to do this song because it was a favorite back in the day. And, no, we're going to do our favorites from the last 4 records.
Yeah, and not to impugn any of the work and any of the guys in any of the lineups, man, but this really is a stellar lineup right now, though, man. Like you guys are really in a groove right now with Bill and Steve, and you and Mike and Ken. I mean, this is really, really a great lineup right now. So I mean, kudos to all the guys. I mean, and that's not to say that past lineups have not been great. Going all the way back to a little guy named Jason Newstead, who was in this band at the very beginning. People might forget. So you guys have had some great lineups, but this one, you guys are really in the pocket, though.
And Bill Bodley was a fill-in bass player when we had Spencer back in the band.
Yep.
And it was just because, Spencer had other things going on at home. He had to take a few shows off here and there during tour.
Yep.
No big deal. Bill was a friend. But he is just, the more we listen to him, the more we realize he is one of the most solid, never screw up, great parts bass player that we've ever had. I mean, he's really, we never have to worry about what he's playing or what he's writing, or we never have to send stuff back to him and say, hey, this part you did on this song sounds kind of weird, can you find something else? Never. Everything he does just fits perfect, and you never hear a sour note from him live. The guy, super easy to tour with and to get along with. And he's just one of the most solid bass players on the planet. And his other band, Contrarian, does all this crazy million note stuff. And that kind of concerned us because we're like, we don't want him to overplay. He never overplays. He's in the pocket, does exactly what we expect, plus a little more tastiness. And it's super nice to have, 5 guys who get along together and like to go do the same things on tour. And, we like to go do touristy stuff and go find a new pub to hang out in and stuff like that. We love that crap. We're all on the same page.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have. Not a bad problem. And by the way, I don't know how you guys do it, man. And I'm not trying to sound like a wimp. I'm an upstate New Yorker, man. But me and my wife just got back from Yuma, Arizona. Wow, that's a different kind of heat out there.
Dude, it's 111 today at my house.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we stayed. We stayed in Yuma at a hotel, and the only time we could really swim was at nighttime. I think even then the water was like in the 90s.
Oh yeah. It's it heats up so much during the day, it doesn't have enough darkness to cool back off again.
No. The nice thing is though, in comparison to when it's summertime here in upstate New York, though, man, I think a lot less humidity though. I didn't feel like I sweated like I sweat here.
Yeah, it's the difference between like a convection oven and a blow dryer. It's more of a blow dryer. You know?
It is. Well put. But listen, man, I appreciate you doing this, man. And by the way, man, you've talked up the other guys in the band so much, man, but let's not take away, the power of the voice of AK, because you sound better than ever, man. These songs are fucking great, man, and your voice just sounds amazing.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Every couple of years I get older, I have to retrain myself how to sing, but
yeah.
So far I can still do it. It's just different every time.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you making the time to do this, man. And, I'm sure we'll keep in touch and we'll do this again, man. I enjoy having you guys on, man. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. We'll talk again soon, my friend.
I know.
All right. Best of luck, Eric, with the album and everything going forward, my man.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Talk to you soon.
I see you
later. So there he goes, folks. A true metal legend. I'm going to say it, man. Eric AK, the voice behind Flotsam and Jetsam, and the fellas are dropping a new album August 28th, Rats in the Temple. I said this on my last podcast episode when I had Mike Gilbert on, guitar player for Flotsam and Jetsam, but I'll run it back with you guys. The title track, Rats in the Temple, already out there with a video. Also another single and video, Harvesting the Hate, is also out there right now. And the complete album drops August 28th, which at the time of this episode, it is August 16th. I don't know when I'll get this out, but it'll definitely be out before this album is out. I'm trying to space my episodes out a little bit and not stick too much out all in 1 week. So I'll probably let the Michael Gilbert interview breathe a little bit, and then we'll get Eric's out there. But you can go check out my interview with Mr. Gilbert. That's out there right now. But the fellas are on a hell of a fucking roll right now. And and it's twofold for me, because I am angry because I've loved Flotsam and Jetsam's entire career, going all the way back to seminal, amazing albums. Started out with Doomsday for the Deceiver, followed it up with No Place for Disgrace, and then it's just been a fucking slew of kick-ass albums. They've really been in the pocket, though, this last decade, going back to 2016, the self-titled album, and then End of Chaos in 2019, Blood in the Water in 2021, 2024, they gave us I Am the Weapon, and now this year they are going to give us Rats in the Temple. And if you go watch and listen to these songs and look at these videos, these songs are fucking ferocious. So if you're a Flotsam and Jetsam fan, expect nothing less. This streak that media journalists and websites have made so much about, which I think has been their entire career in defense of the fellas. But if you want to call these last 4 or 5 albums where they've really hit their stride, fine. I don't think the fellas mind that much, because these are fucking amazing albums. Each and every one of the ones that I just named, absolutely incredible. The boys are sounding better than ever. AK's voice is sounding better than ever, and really chalking it up to, and I like that Eric agreed with this, and Mike said it as well, the lineup. There's been a stability and just a kinship amongst these guys. Steve Connolly, Mike Gilbert on guitar, Bill Bodley on bass, Eric AK on vocals, Ken Mary with his not only ferocious drumming, but just his ear for production. So, I mean, Flotsam and Jetsam right now, in my opinion, can do no wrong. Criminally underrated in the rock and metal fucking world, and should be talked about much more than they are. Every bit right up there with all the best metal bands right now. And I feel like this has been the story of their career. I hope that the metal and rock world appreciates them more, looking back on these incredible albums, and really gives them their just due, because they are an incredible fucking band. So look for Rats in the Temple, August 28th, dropping very soon. And again, I really want to thank return guest at this point, friend of the show. You know, once you're on here a couple times, you become a friend of the show, I guess, whether you like it or not. So Eric, AK, very much a friend of the show. I love chopping it up with him. Love chopping it up with all the Flots guys that I've had on here. So just great guys at the end of the day too. And that's even more of a reason to support the fellas. So go check out their website. For news, if they're coming to a town near you at all on this tour, whether you're over in Europe watching me right now, or keep your eye peeled for stuff that they'll be doing in the States, probably next year. That probably sounds more realistic with everything they got going on once the album comes out. So keep your eye peeled, support not just FLOTSAM and JETSAM, but your favorite artists. This is where I get on my soapbox and tell you guys, support art, support music, or else this goes away. These guys are out there trying to make their nut, trying to make a living. We got to go out there and be good fans. Get to a show, cop the physical product, head out, and when you do see the bands live, grab some merchandise. Really help support these guys. They are out there grinding. As AK alluded to, they're not doing Taylor Swift numbers. Not many people are Taylor Swift. These guys are out there grinding. They're on a bus. They're in a van. They're going to little clubs, big arenas, festivals, everything in between. So really need to lift our favorite artists up and support them, and be a good fan. End of soapbox. Now I'll run down our credentials one more time so you know where to find us. I got it all in before AK jumped on here, but I'll just give you the rundown one more time. You can tap in with us on Facebook. Our handle is Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. So we have 2 shows on this channel. For you pugilism fans, we got you covered with Off the Couch Boxing. For you rock, metal, music fans in general, we got you covered here on PodScum. You can check out information on both shows and lots of other cool shit. I'm always posting if it's newsworthy, if it's noteworthy, in the boxing and in the fight game or the music world. I put lots of cool tidbits and fun stuff up there, videos, news, whatever I come across that I think you guys would be interested in. So get with us on Facebook. Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum is the handle. Instagram, we give you lots of reels, so you can check us out there. Same handle, Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum, and you can reach out to us on either platform. Super active, super receptive. We welcome your feedback, your comments. I will respond to you guys. I promise you that. So get with us on those platforms. But like I said earlier, if you want to watch and listen to these episodes in their entirety, the whole goddamn thing, you can only do that here on our YouTube channel. So please like, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way we will let you know when new content is dropping, and we try to bring you something new as often as possible, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever we can get to you guys, man. We don't sit on content here. We get it, and we try to roll it out to you, so the information that you're hearing is pretty fresh and pretty current. So now I'll give my accolades here. I appreciate you viewers and you subscribers. Again, right out of the gate here, 2026 has been another killer year. The views are up. The subscribers are way up. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I love you guys. Couldn't do this without you guys lifting me up and inspiring me. And goes without saying, I got to thank, of course, the guests. I know that getting to tune in and feast your eyes on all this beauty is a treat. And again, I got to give kudos to Pops up there. You know, being Diamond David Lee Roth Jr., it comes easy. But I know that's not where my bread is buttered. That's not why you tune in. You tune in to watch these amazing conversations with these incredible artists. So I got to thank my guest specifically today, Eric AK from FLOTSAM and JETSAM, for joining us, and I appreciate the hell out of him, and I appreciate the hell out of all you guys, man. So keep tuning in. Tap into the past episodes. We are north of 400. I think we're going to hit. Actually, Eric AK is going to be magic number 420 for you smokers out there. That's special. I think Eric will be episode number 420. So there's a lot of back episodes to go and peruse. Something there for everybody. Many different genres of music, especially if you're a rock and metal fan. There's lots for you to sink your teeth into. And if you're a pugilism fan, we are north of 315 episodes of Off the Couch Boxing. So there's a lot to go and watch there as well. So, you know, I appreciate you guys, man, and I appreciate the sport, and I love all you guys, man. And until we get together and we do this thing again, this is your boy Reckless Rex, reminding you all to take it easy and keep it sleazy.